Hello and welcome to Funny Science Fiction, the live edition. That's right. Funny Science Fiction, the live edition, the podcast that made Ultron hate humanity. For all of 2 minutes, found our podcast and decided it was time to call it a day. Time to end it all. So, yeah, that happened.
And there goes the multiverse.
There goes the multiverse. That's right.
I'm sure, though, that in another version of the world, there is a variant of our podcast that's actually good.
You know, I'm not so sure of that. No.
Well, I mean, come on. There's enough infinity alternate universes. Eventually, one of us has to be good. Eventually.
So, yeah, well, there's always that, I suppose. Now, also, before we get into anything else tonight, if you watched last week's episode, you're aware that Nick felt he unlocked his inner geisha.
No, this is my alternate, my other universe.
This is your variant?
This is my variant Nick.
Yeah, I think this is just an outward expression of his geisha, but here it goes.
Such a beautiful dancer.
Is...
and John's watching.
A variant show where Kathleen and Tim have mustaches and Nick does not.
We can make that happen. We could do that one night. I can.
Yeah, there's. We could just do it with, you know. I mean, if he can be a geisha with Reface, why can't you do something with a mustache on Reface? I mean, it's a distinct possibility.
And before we get into tonight's show, we want to say thank you to our show partners, River City Tees and Level Up Lifestyle.
All right, and let's roll that nerd footage.
I also want to point out how quickly he's trying to get away from all this. Right? He's like, no, I brought this up.
It's supposed to go to YouTube and nobody else.
That's right.
No, now it's going to YouTube.
YouTube. That's right. Here we go. With over 700 designs to choose from, River City Tees has something for everyone. Need some new nerd merch? River City Tees has you covered. Need funny or sarcastic designs? River City Tees has you covered. Are you looking for a new logo or custom design? Whether you need 1 or 100, River City Tees has you covered. With multiple colors and options for each and every design. With things to choose from like shirts, hoodies, phone cases, coffee mugs, and so much more. Be sure to follow River City Tees on Facebook and Instagram. If you do, you'll get the latest on designs and information about upcoming sales. River City Tees. Let's make a shirt together.
All right, that was River City Tees. Next up, Level Up Lightsabers. And also...
Oh, there it is. Nick showing it off, the Level Up lightsaber.
That's all right. I'm not jealous.
Alan, Nick's dad, would like to say, I am sad for the traditions of the Japanese people, and on behalf of the Funny Science Fiction, I apologize to all of you. That's probably an apology we should have... That's probably an apology we should have levied out there before we showed the video.
We'll get there.
But one more thing, and speaking of Nick's dad, who uses the pen name Drayton Allen, has a new book out. Please pay attention to the following promo.
Introducing the new novel, Dances with Aliens by Clayton Sandel. Thomas, the last man on Earth, is stuck being a dog. Not a four-legged dog that goes woof, but a singing, dancing dog of the theme park variety. The theme park, where Thomas has worked for years, is now overrun with alien kids begging him to perform dances and do tricks. But how could this have happened? Is humanity really gone? How does an intelligent race of aliens develop the technology to travel the cosmos, invade and conquer Earth, yet not recognize a guy in a dog suit? Available at DraytonAllen.com.
All right. And links for River City Tees and Level Up Lightsabers will be in the comment section below, and I'm guessing also to DraytonAllen.com for Dances with Aliens.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be available at Amazon and things like that as well. And of course, we can't ignore John's comment that Darth Stockbridge rules over the mid-rim sector of Michigan. Are we calling your dad Darth Stockbridge now? Because if we are, I think...
Or is Nick Darth Stockbridge because he had the red lightsaber tonight?
Ooh, well, either way. Either way.
And tonight we welcome back to the show Will Wize from the Stuck in My Mind.
Welcome, Wize.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yeah. Glad to have you, buddy.
All right. And new to the insanity, we also welcome actor and rapper Jarrell Pyro Johnson.
What's up, Pyro? Welcome, buddy.
Hi, I feel insane right now.
You will be questioning your life choices at the end of the hour.
All right,
you're not
Wize.
already.
Wize, tell everybody about your show and where we can find you.
The show's called Stuck in My Mind Podcast. Actually, Pyro's going to be on there soon as well.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But I'm on all major platform. I've actually started the last few episodes that I've been recording have been video, so now I'm transitioning to video as well.
Excellent.
But yeah, you'll find me on YouTube at Stuck in My Mind Podcast and on every major platform.
All right. So and it's a really good show, guys. I'm a subscriber. I strongly suggest you guys check it out. The cool thing about Wize's show is that he has just real regular conversations with people, and it's a little bit of everything. Honestly, I don't think there's a topic he hasn't covered, really. But you guys will like it. It's a good show. Check it out. And Pyro, tell us about your music, your acting career, what you got going on here, and where people can look to find things from you at.
Man, I have so much going on. It's overwhelming me. Sometimes I need to update my own self on what's going on. I just released an album October 1st, which was also my birthday. It's called Life is a Musical. It can be found on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon Music, all the musics. And acting wise, I'm just doing some stuff that I can't tell, but it's geeky and nerdy related for sure. And in 2022 is what I can say. You all will be very stoked.
I won't say anything. I will just say his IMDb profiles are really
cool.
See, you're not technically breaking the non-disclosure agreements then.
You said nothing. I said it was cool. That's all I said. He's got some cool stuff on there.
All we're going to say to people is check out his IMDb, because then we're not responsible for breaking the non-disclosure agreement either.
Not at all.
Please don't sue us. We don't have any money.
Hey, all nerds and geeks have money. They will not believe that.
I have a 3-year-old. I have no money.
So and by the way, guys, links for River City Tees and Level Up Lightsabers are in the comments. If you guys are interested in checking out the t-shirts or those lightsabers, check them out there, and you guys can get any of that. No, John, no. We're not going to read all that comment because John, no, negatory. But yeah, so we're really excited to have both of these guys here. They've got some cool stuff going on. Make sure you get out there and show them some love, give them some follows, give Pyro some listens on his music, and make sure you sub to what Wize has got going on as well. You guys aren't going to want to miss what he's got coming up, and I'm sure he's got some, not just Pyro going to be on his show, but he's got some other good stuff coming out there too. So let's talk about what we're here to talk about tonight. So it took us almost 9 minutes to get here, but we got here and we're finally here. All right. So we've kind of touched on this topic before, and it's kind of a cool topic because there's in the sci-fi world and the superhero world and the fantasy worlds, wherever, there are so many secondary and third level characters out there who are cool and who have the opportunity to get more exposure. And so the cool thing, this is a topic that we can revisit from time to time and have some really fun conversations with. So we're really excited to have these guys on tonight. So we're going to talk about, each of us have picked 2 characters that we think should be given their own spin-off show or movie, something that develops them as a character, shows off more of who and and what they are. Now, some of these will be from the science fiction realms. Some of them will be from superhero movies, maybe fantasy or other locations. So if you like what we've picked, tell us in the comments. If you didn't like what we picked, tell us in the comments. If you have somebody else that you think we should have picked that between the 5 of us and our 10 picks that we missed, tell us in the comments. If you're catching on, we want you to interact with us. Talk to us in the comments. So we'll have some fun with that as well. So to make sure that Pyro and Wize know the routine here, we're going to have Nick. We're going to trot Nick out here first and bake him our sacrificial lamb. So Nick, go ahead. Tell us your first pick.
So the first one that came to my mind was a character from the movie Inception, and I think Ariadne, the architect girl that they end up bringing on, I think she should continue the show because I forget the main character's name, but he's done. But I think Ariadne still has a lot of exploring that he can do with this and like the architecture and stuff like that. I think it would be something her character would continue wanting to do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember who played Ariadne.
She-
Elliot Page. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that was a pretty cool character.
Mm-hmm. And
All
then
right.
for my second pick, I was thinking we always see Star Trek from the Federation aspect. I think it would be cool to take Star Trek from like the Klingons or Romulans or some other race or the Ferengi, and like I think the Ferengi would make an interesting comment, but just take Star Trek from like one of their races and how they end up getting to space and like their exploration kind of thing, and yeah, just kind of explore their cultures a little.
Okay. So how does the Federation affect them from the Klingon view or the Ferengi view?
Or it could even be before the Federation even existed. We like I don't know. We don't know that aspect.
Right. You know what's
Right.
funny is I had actually thought about using Quark. I thought having extra storyline about Quark would be fun.
Isn't that a show called like it would be like a show like Cheers, Big Quark?
Right? I think that would be great. A Quark version of Cheers. That would be
John agrees. He says Quark Acquisitions Incorporated, a series.
I feel like they tried to do that slightly with Vulcans, but I mean, I feel like they could have just expanded it more instead of just focusing only on Spock. You know, that would have been like really cool. So I like that idea because I mean, you know, when you look at Star Wars, you always look at the both sides. Why don't we ever look at both sides from the Federation versus
Right.
you know all the other races? I mean, I like what they're doing on Hulu with the little the cartoon animated with the
the lower decks.
Yeah, that's cool. But it would be really cool, like even if they made it like an animation or some kind of side. Something. I think that's
Sure.
Mhm.
a great idea.
Yeah, because I think, you know, like you said, they did it a little bit with Spock and the Vulcan race, and a little bit from that aspect, and they've kind of always done that with the Vulcans because of the inclusion of Spock and his importance to the storyline. But I think that it would be, like you said, it'd be really cool to see some of these other races and characters kind of fleshed out a little bit.
And
So Travis Foley says, I know it's not sci-fi, but with the new movie out, Naomi Harris is Moneypenny from James
Mhm.
Bond. I still say James Bond is sci-fi. He's got enough gadgets, man. I'll call him
Especially this
sci-fi.
Especially
Yeah.
this new one. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And they did do that with the Klingons a little bit too in Next Generation. Like they would explore Worf a little bit, but I still think from not the Federation point of view, just take it somewhere else.
I think there's a lot of character growth that you can take when you take them outside of this one small box.
Mhm.
And let's see. Alan says the Andorians need to be explored. So, Okay.
That would actually be cool. I think that would be a really dope idea. I'm surprised they haven't thought of that. Actually, it's really weird.
So, yeah, I think that that's one of the things I love about science fiction is that there's so many, and superhero stuff is that there's so many areas and directions that you can take this stuff, and you can get all these really cool stories. That it's really limitless what you can do. The only limit is what you're putting on, as far as what you see coming out of it. So, all right, so. I can't pronounce the person, but the person from Inception and the Klingons. All right. So I think those are, what was it, Ariadne? Is that how you pronounce it?
I think so, yeah.
We'll go with that. Okay. Let's go with Ariadne. Which, by the way, if you do Google search that, there's a Greek mythology tie in there somewhere. So I'm going to need to go back and check that out and see what the tie-in is, why they named the person from the movie Inception Ariadne. Is it because of the Greek mythology, or is it just a happy coincidence? So, all right, very good. All right, Kathleen, give us your first pick.
All right, my first pick is the 11th Doctor's first companion, Amy Pond. I feel like there's a lot of story we could have had with Amy that would have been interesting. Her adventures with the Doctor are very cool, but the way her storyline ends also leaves a lot of time that she could have been doing cool things, because the angels send her back to 1938. I'm double checking. Yeah, 1938. And she lives out the rest of her life, potentially living through World War II again, where she had already met Winston Churchill once. I feel like there could have been so much stuff that she would have had from her existence with the Doctor, her living 100 years before she was alive then, that she could have helped create a New York version of Torchwood. She could have created UNIT. She could have helped prepare the United States for the eventual aliens, because aliens don't always only happen in London. Just mostly.
Not according to Doctor Who.
I said mostly. There's aliens in Utah too.
I had to go look it up because I'm not as you may have already known, I'm not the biggest Whovian. I had to figure out who Amy Pond was. But since now that I know that it's Karen Gillan's character, yes, please, more.
Right? Nobody's ever going to argue with more Karen Gillan.
So, no. And Alan just wanted to remind us that he picked Andorians because blue people are popular in movies ever since Avatar. He's not wrong. That's the thing.
Yeah, he's right.
he ain't wrong. And John agrees that he will watch anything that Karen Gillan is in. So, yes, please. So, all right, cool. All right, Kathleen, what's your second pick?
Okay, the second pick is where things get a little weird.
I like weird. Weird's good.
Because it was kind of a toss-up. It's kind of a toss-up. But the general concept is Sal from Birds of Prey. The guy who makes Harley Quinn's bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich.
Okay.
Because they're on a first-name basis. He's got to know all of the insanity that happens in Gotham. Restaurant owners, bar owners know the dirt. And I feel like there could be a lot of really fun stories from his side of things. But I also was looking at the guy who owns the shawarma restaurant in Avengers.
Oh, and the post-credit scene?
Yeah. I mean, come on. Alien battle in front of your store?
That would be
But then I was also thinking just that general, like, any of those background characters. Like, can you imagine a TV short from sanitation worker number 4 who everybody else is like, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman, and he's like, no, not again. I'm gonna have to clean up after him. Because nobody ever thinks about the collateral damage of superheroes.
Right.
Except for the ones who have to clean up their mess.
Exactly.
Well,
Well, and that's why Alan says that Cheers needs to be set in Gotham.
Yeah, you see what happens when people clean up superheroes' mess.
Right? Right?
I think it would be hilarious because you have the people who are like, yay, superheroes, I'm so excited. You're going to come save us. And it's like, no, you just made my life 4 times harder. I now have to work overtime because you destroyed a freaking building and didn't even go back to apologize.
Well, they kind of allude to that in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly.
You know, in the beginning there with, you know, they're doing all the cleanup, and I mean, it's kind of alluded to there, but it's not really really dove into. But
Right.
you know, John. So Custodians of the Cosmos, but with the Avengers instead of Starfleet. Alan, I
Sure.
do believe you have your sequel.
But I mean, I just think it would be funny if like the construction workers who have to fix the highway after Deadpool has all of the people crash on the highway and the bullet holes and the blood stains all over the billboards, and it's like there's people who have to clean this mess up afterward. I want to hear the crap
that
they
would be
say
really-
about superheroes.
That would be really cool. I'm thinking like it's kind of like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but not as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's
Mhm.
normal people.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Regular people with a strong recommendations for like Angie's List or something, you know.
Yeah, I want the random house cleaner who gets the call from S.H.I.E.L.D. with the, hey, so we need you to come help clean bloodstains out of the carpet. It's like, seriously?
I
Again?
do believe. Is that what the MIB is for? Like their
yeah, exactly.
cleanup crew?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
clean
our
up crew,
concept.
both, you know, of physical things on the ground and your memories. You
Because
know,
I mean, like in The Boys, you kind of get that a little bit with like the way that Vought has the apology forms and paying people off to not be like, you killed my girlfriend. No, killing your girlfriend and taking a $45,000 check is not going to make it better. But it's
Right.
that sort of like, I want the other side of the shiny superheroes.
The true underdogs, right?
Yeah.
that's right. So
The
I'm
person
gonna
has to rebuild the parking garage.
bring this back up on the screen, but Alan said that Sam from Cheers needs to be the bartender, but it's a washed up superhero. I'll make one addendum to that. I want old man Bruce Wayne, retired Bruce Wayne, to be like, you know what, screw it, I'm starting a
Yes.
bar. And then have all the old evil guys come in and he's serving them drinks and they're talking about the, you know, the glory days when they didn't kill each other, they just beat the crap out of one another.
That
But
would be
none of
so-
them know that he was Batman, so they're still telling him all these
Right.
stories about Batman.
Right. You know,
Old man
uh,
Bruce was a monster, man. That
right?
was- Jeez.
Especially in Batman Beyond.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, all right. I actually like the idea of the shawarma guy, the sanitation worker, because one of my picks was going to be, and I scrapped it and I picked somebody else, but one of my picks was going to be Jimmy Olsen from Superman, because I would thought, you know, how cool would it be to see that story told from Jimmy Olsen's point of view? Here's Superman, here's Lois Lane. You know, he doesn't really have a clue who, you know, that Clark Kent is, you know, Superman, because he haven't figured out that, you know, that just the hair got flipped to one the other side and the glasses got taken off.
Didn't they
But-
kind of do that in Lois and Clark from the 90s, I think it was?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I never really watched it all that much because I didn't think that Dean Cain was that good of a Superman.
Dean Cain.
Yeah,
I think they did that. I sort of remember that happening.
that'd be cool though. I mean, you know, seeing that being told from that, I think from that perspective, you know, from, you know, from the underside of the story instead of being in the story, being told from outside the perspective of the story, and, you know, always having to be there and be rescued by Superman because he was nearby taking pictures for Lois, and everybody always tries to kill Lois apparently. So, you know, or him, you know, having to go to counseling to deal with the PTSD.
He
I
sounds
kind of like
a-
enjoyed how what they did with Jimmy Olsen on Supergirl, actually, though, when they made him the Guardian, was it?
Yeah, gave him the ability to be a little bit of a butt kicker instead of getting his butt kicked. Yeah. No, that's.
I feel like they kind of did that with Trevor, Mandalorian Trevor. Like I liked how they showed like from his point of view, you know, the one shot.
Mhm.
So that was kind of cool. So I mean, if they did more of that with that. I think that'll be really amazing. Like with Jimmy,
Yeah.
that would be so cool.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, Wize, you are up. Who's your first pick?
Hit girl from Kick-Ass.
All right. What'd you like about her, and why'd you want her to get more time?
Oh my God, everything about her, man. She just stole the movie, man. She was just vicious, man. Vicious Wolverine.
She is a tiny little ball of hate, that's for sure. All right. Cool.
And the second one isn't really much sci-fi, but I guess the show, the characters, they all enjoyed Star Wars, and they're a bunch of geeks and nerds. Was Fez from That 70s Show.
I love Fez.
See, so originally when you sent me over Fez, I was going to be like, no, come on, man, that's not sci-fi. And then I'm like, but it's Fez. So I let it go because it's Fez, man.
Yeah.
And apparently Eric and Donna named their daughter Leia.
Really? Okay.
Wow.
Sorry, Netflix just just announced that they're doing
Yeah.
That 90s Show.
Yeah, the 90s show. The 90s show with Red and
Red and Kitty and their
damn.
granddaughter Leia.
Really? Okay.
We're gonna see if
There's
it's as big of a trainer because that 80s show was.
There's going to be a whole new crew of dumbasses. All right. Looking forward to it.
Is any of the original, like you said, it's just it's like
it's gonna be Red and and the mom.
Yeah, Red and Kitty are the only ones that have confirmed
What?
from
Yeah.
the original that are coming back.
Wow, not another Fuller House. I hope not. Jesus.
I hope not, but
No, hopefully they can do it better than that, but you know.
I mean, I loved Fuller House because of the nostalgia aspect of it because I am a
Right.
90s kid.
Right.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
I didn't need every time one of the original cast members walked on screen for everybody to clap.
The slow motion clap of yay nostalgia.
Although the fourth wall breaks of calling out Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen were beautiful.
Yes. Perfect.
I'm gonna take your word for it because I watched this many episodes and went never again. I couldn't do it. And I used to watch Full House all the time as a kid, so I mean it wasn't like
I don't think I got through a whole episode either.
Yeah, I tried.
It's just
I
not
really
the same it's just not the same with Uncle Jesse and
Exactly.
this and Danny and all of them. So yeah.
Yeah, and I understand. I appreciate what they were trying to do, and I think for the most part they accomplished it. They got the right people in the right places, and it was a very successful show for Netflix. But
Right. And I think having Jodie Sweetin and Candace Cameron Bure come back was really cool. But at the same time, it was do we really need this?
Right.
so the hockey fan in me needs to correct the pronunciation of it's Bure, but just
Depends
saying
on who you ask.
Bure.
She
Anyway.
says it both ways. Her husband only says it one way, but she says it both ways.
Well, we're gonna go by the husband's pronunciation because he's the Russian. So anyway,
Argue with the Russians.
all right. John says Fuller House was awesome. I might rewatch it. Anyway, so
He's got questionable life choices, Tim.
I know for as many reasons as I love John, there are many reasons why I go, really? That's what we're doing with that,
Questionable life choice number one over here.
right? So yeah, no, I honestly think that no, Fez is a good choice. I think it'd be really cool to see what happened with him, later on, and if he ever became the ladies' man that he dreamt of becoming, and and
I also want a little backstory on him and what his real name is.
right, because Fez is just an acronym for foreign exchange student. So
Yes.
Where is he from?
I don't think it's I don't think it's ever
They
really
never
said.
said. I don't think they've ever said where he was from.
No, I don't think so.
He's from Yara.
From where?
Yara.
Yabba dabba doo.
Yara. Yara. A Spanish country from Far Cry. That's where he's from.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
I thought he
I'm
really
sitting here going, I don't think I've ever heard of that place. That can't be real, right? Okay. Well, we'll go with that.
See, now
All
you
right.
mentioned that, so now I'm like, wait, no, I want to watch that 70s show again.
70 Show is always worth a rewatch, in my
Great
opinion.
show. Great
That's a
show.
great show.
Until
Those
the
are-
end. The end gets
Right.
stupid.
Yeah.
But don't they all?
They
Well-
really do. The number of TV shows that should have ended the season before their final season.
Well, yeah. So one of my biggest examples of that is one of my all-time favorite shows. I love the show How I Met Your Mother. It has nothing to do with sci-fi here, except for they're all huge sci-fi fans too, and Star Wars fans. But that should have ended in season 8. Season 9 was one long train wreck of a goodbye.
Yes, agreed.
They could have easily wrapped up in season 8 and gave the fans the ending they wanted,
Mhm.
and or even the ending they ended up with. They could have done that in season 8, but season 9 was just one long slow wave at the camera. Goodbye, we're leaving. Here's another drawn out episode.
And I hated that we had gone through all of those seasons and all of those stories for the kids to just be like, you're really caught up on Aunt Robin, aren't you? No,
Maybe.
this is not where this should have been going.
Yeah, that was strange.
We just spent the last 8 seasons showing why she's wrong for you.
Right. And we got like 5 episodes with the mother. I'm like,
Yeah.
really? All that so you could hit on Aunt Robin again?
Right.
So, but on the other hand,
It takes
honestly, we spent 7 seasons of him hitting on Robin. So, I mean, we really shouldn't have been all that surprised.
he
Oh.
needs to take that blue French horn and
Jason says, hello, Kathleen, Stash, Jarrell, and Wize. Oh, and Tim. And listen here, Taylor, if you're going to call me out, at least call me Tom. Get it right. Alan says he wants to see Jurassic Park from the viewpoint of intelligent dinosaurs from Dinotopia.
Wow.
He did say
I
he
would
was going
watch
to come
that.
stop by in the chat and harass you.
Well, that's what he does. I'm used to it.
I'm just glad Jason's finally here. You're only half an hour late,
He's
Jason.
32 minutes late, but yeah, well, whatever. But on the flip side, I go on his show and give him crap, so it's all fair. It's all fun and games.
And then
until
we go on
somebody
other
cries.
people's shows together and give them all crap.
That's right, and give each other crap live on the air.
Hey, what's time?
That's right. You know what? If you can't pick on your friends, who can you pick on, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, look at the name drop. Interviewing Tim
Ooh.
Conway's daughter. He's like, yeah, look at him go. All right, we'll give you a pass this time. All right, Pyro, tell us your first pick, who and why.
Okay, my first pick is Hagrid. Everyone loves Hagrid. Come on, like Hagrid should have been. It should have happened before Fantastic Beasts, if you ask me. They just do him so wrong, man. Like the whole story between Tom Riddle, between even Dumbledore actually has his moments. Well, we know everyone else definitely does him wrong because Snape doesn't like anyone besides Harry Potter's mom. But no, I think
How you
Hagrid,
doing?
right. Hagrid would be awesome. I would like to see about his half brother. That would be cool. And then also his because we don't really get that much, and also him growing up, as a giant. And I mean, we might see some in that new Fantastic Beasts, but I highly doubt it.
And we get a little snippet of a flashback when they say that he was the one who had opened the Chamber of Secrets before, but there's so much more.
Right.
So I have to be honest with you. I have watched this much of Harry Potter in my life. So I haven't read the books. I haven't watched the movies. It's never appealed to me. But I've actually heard other people say that Hagrid was one of their favorite characters in the show, and they wish that he had gotten a little more story.
You and Hagrid are actually a lot alike, Tim.
Tim, fake nerd. No, just real nerd with very selective tastes. A very picky nerd.
Also, to Jason's last comment, I mean, if Harry Potter's mom was still alive, she would technically be a gilf, not a milf now. There's a cursed child out there.
No, but legitimately, Tim, you and Hagrid are a lot alike. He's big and cuddly, but he's also the person that the kids can go to because they trust. And he's also a giant animal lover, even if those animals are going to kill him.
Okay, I'll take that. I was
Other
wondering
than
where
his
you're
love
going
of
with this.
spiders.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I was waiting too. I'm like, are you a janitor and do you like landscape?
Neither and no, negatory and negatory. That's a whole lot of no on both.
No, he's
of those.
just. I can see Hagrid as like the fantasy version of Tim. Tim currently has his kids that come to him that trust him, and all of his crazy rambunctious pets. And Tim in the fantasy world would have all of his crazy rambunctious pets that would just happen to be hippogriffs and dragons and not pipples.
And big ass tarantulas, you know.
John loves his animals,
spiders.
especially next to the mashed potatoes.
Nice.
No. That's where I'd have to draw the line. There's nothing with spiders.
Are you
John said mashed potatoes, and now I'm realizing what I want for dinner tomorrow night. Sorry.
like? Is there a mountain of mashed potatoes out there somewhere? Just
There
is
should
that
be.
where you're finding the animals?
There should be. On top of mashed potatoes. Anyway, but yeah, I see a spider and I turn into like a 1930s gangster. You get to die, you die, your friends die, your cousins die, your family's dead. So
Al Capone, huh?
Whereas Hagrid has befriended the 6 foot tall spiders that live in the woods.
not a Ice Cube's chance in Arizona. It's never happening. Never ever happening. Mandel, yeah. Alan says the Mandalorian as recounted by old Grogu. We'd have to hear Grogu say some words first.
No, it's just all.
He's done some really good grunting.
Transplanted into our minds.
He's done some really good gruntings and pointings so far, but I'm kind of curious if they're actually. I don't think we're going to speak. This is a tangent, by the way. I don't think we're going to see Grogu in season 3 of Mandalorian. I don't think you'll see him at all. I think with him, with Luke Skywalker picking him up and taking him away, I think that you'll that's gonna. He'll come back for something else somewhere on down the line. But I think if you see him, it'll be in the Ahsoka series. I don't think it'll be in Mandalorian.
I think it's going to be like the season 3 finale where he like comes in and saves Mando's butt with all of his new Jedi training.
He's gonna walk in and be like, "What's up?
That'd be cool.
What's up, Daddy? Let's do
Like
this."
Mando's in the middle of a fight, and all of a sudden the guy he's fighting is like floating in the air, and under him you just see Grogu.
What's up, Daddy?
It could happen. It could be a thing.
So,
All right.
Pyro, who was your other guy?
Yeah, who's your second pick, bud?
So this one was a toss-up for me because I think they're hand in hand because they're going to have to be involved. But if I had to pick between the two, because of my favorite, I would say Gambit. The other person is Rogue, if you didn't catch that. But Gambit for sure. I just feel like they didn't give us just due. Gambit is amazing. I mean, like
Gambit's awesome.
Like I mean, I don't know why. Like what's like if we did like I think they were supposed to do it, but it got the actor was terrible or something that they had to do it or something like that. But I mean, Gambit is amazing, and then you can introduce Rogue, and then you can also go into the psionic powers more so.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like X-Men hasn't really focused that much. I mean, we had a little bit in Apocalypse, but it wasn't a lot where they could enhance it. And then Cable, I mean, they did Cable so wrong. Like, so I think Gambit would introduce a whole nother level of psionic abilities and just a whole nother power scale.
See, I like the actor that they had for Gambit in the Wolverine movie, but like many other things in the Wolverine movie, it was horribly written and laid out. Right. So there's an opportunity there. I would love to see Gambit on the big screen. Whatever gets him on the big screen, he should have his own movie. Or actually, what I'd actually love to see for him is like a Marvel mini series that they do.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
I think that'd be really cool because that would allow that story to get stretched out and actually have some explanations as to what's going on.
But that could be really cool with the vampire curse. When he got bit by the vampire, and then that can lead into Blade. Like it's just sick. Yeah,
there's so many ways that they could take Gambit's story and feed into other characters. Jason Taylor says that that's why we're boys, because Gambit is the bomb. And Alan says I'm in for more X-Men. Definitely, absolutely, we'll take them. Grogu was in episode 8. He was at Luke's Academy. He was? Seriously?
I didn't know that.
I guess you'll just have to go and rewatch it.
I guess I know what I'm watching tonight. We're going back to some Last Jedi. That's going to happen.
Huh.
All right. Justin K says, "What fuels dragons spewing? Do they fart the reverse way?" You got me on that one, but I don't know that I got an answer for you on that one. Oh, that's awesome.
From what I understand, they do have produces some sort of a liquid of sorts that allows them to.
But
See you
that's
later.
more like a drool, but not a fart, right? Because that's what he's asking.
Are these all dragons in general, or is this like based on a certain show or movie? Because I don't think Spyro would do it like.
I think I watched like a documentary on. It was a mockumentary, I guess it was. It was like about mythical creatures and stuff, and I think they like broke it down like what they would have, and, like what organs and glands they would have.
So according to worldbuilding.com, how would dragons be explained without magic? They have 2 sacs with holes that enter into their mouths. Inside one lives an organism like yeast, which produces ethanol, and the other one that lives bacteria that produce sulfuric acid. These 2 gases are allowed to mix inside of the dragon's mouth just before it breathes fire.
That sounded all kinds of wrong.
Yeah.
I think I'm stuck with that first thing you said. Like, what?
Check, please.
The things
right.
that I Google search during our show.
That's right. And Alan says it's a glandular condition for dragons. Jason disagrees that Pyro is a dragon, therefore he spits fire.
Now we go to the second part of that question.
And see, now, Jason, you're no longer boys. See what happened? All right. And John did say that Gambit has such an amazing backstory. He could have multiple films of his own easily. And I highly, highly agree with that. So very cool. So I like your picks there too. So we got Haggard, we got Gambit, and we've got laughter from Kathleen.
Sorry, just because the internet says that dragons don't fart fire.
So what did you guys talk about in your live show tonight? Whether or not dragons fart fire.
Well, you know, the episode of How to Train Your Dragon, maybe I would have learned that, I guess.
And all of a sudden in my head, all I'm hearing is a parody song of the Metallica song, Fight Fire with Fire with Fart Fire with Fire.
Fart Fire with Fire.
And to the folks of Metallica, I am very sorry.
So from what I'm understanding,
why is like I didn't sign up for fart jokes.
From my understanding, the dragon's breathing fire is very similar to a venomous bite from any other reptile.
Okay.
Huh.
It's the same sort of concept, only with fire instead of venom. So their farts are apparently just farts.
And just in case, I would just like to say thank you for leading us down this rabbit hole of dragon farts, because we would not have had this without you.
But the real question is, how do they taste?
You don't eat dragons.
I'm gonna guess like a charcoaly finish. You'll know if a dragon farted and you walked in the room, because you're like, I taste charcoal. Because everything's gonna be burnt.
I didn't even know they had holes though.
That's a whole nother topic.
Well, they have to do the other bodily functions.
I'm assuming if
well, I'm saying, well, in I guess whenever they showed scenes of dragons and they would show bones and stuff, so I guess they would digest them.
I mean, they got okay. According to Bear in the Big Blue House, which is a children's show from the 90s, we all got to poop sometime, okay?
Right?
So
my problem with this is dragons are just giant reptiles. Have you seen reptilian poop? Can you imagine reptilian poop the size of your house?
They taste like smoked gator if it was prepared with a bourbon marinade.
That's my husband, all right.
Oh God! And again, Justin, thank you. This is the rabbit hole we didn't know we needed.
All right, Tim, what are your choices here?
Oh, but come on,
Nick's like, nope. I will party poop all over this.
We have 15 minutes, and we're going to take 10 minutes talking about Tim's stuff. And... I would love to. Maybe that's next week's topic.
Next week we're going to talk all about farts.
We-
All right, sci-fi
so
farts.
not necessarily farts specifically, but the biological comparative between real life and
Do the like the half android, half human ones? Do they fart?
right?
Which part of them is human and which part of them is android?
Do newborn baby centaurs run around like newborn horses do, but with flopping human newborn heads?
I feel like we just turned to Terrence and Phillips live or something. Jesus.
Oh, yeah,
You guys ever see the Rowan Atkins?
that is a bad mental image.
Hey, you know, buddy. That's right, guys.
You guys ever see the Rowan Atkins Doctor Who short that he did? Well, they communicated through flatulence, and there was a race of people who literally communicated that way. And that's how they communicated danger.
Justin says, I once read a sci-fi story wherein astronauts discover an alien species and wonder why they don't have anuses. Turns out they are born with teleportation abilities for their poo, I'm guessing.
But where does it go?
So where does the poo go?
Teleport it into another dimension and don't worry about it.
I mean, is that like the
what
sci-fi version
what
of?
do they teleport it out of the intestines into another dimension?
or across the room? Is that like the sci-fi version of cup of cheese? Just throw it in somebody's face.
They pee through their finger, so I don't think that would.
Oh, that's true.
I'm learning so much about this.
This has to be a topic now. We have to go through and talk about all of the ridiculous biological functions of sci-fi characters. Tim's like, and that's how we get our show canceled.
Facebook user says, how did they find out? Seems like a very personal show and tell.
And now, like, the question of how do mermaids poop, and all I can think of is they're fish. So do they have the long stringy fish poop?
Probably.
Maybe it comes off their fin.
And this is why Ultron destroyed.
Why did Ultron kill us? This episode right here, he went back in time, found this one.
He may have.
He's like, this is the crappiest episode ever. All right. Moving on. Yeah, that was a bad dad joke. All right. So my two picks. So my first one, you see him a lot in Teen Titans. He was included in the Justice League. I would actually love to see Cyborg have his own show. Cyborg has a tremendous amount of things that he could do, the stories that could be told about him, his backstory, show him being the high school star sports athlete, growing up, being all these things, going through the process of becoming Cyborg, and what his father had to do to try and save his life, and all these different things, and where that goes, and how he learned to use his abilities. That was somewhat shown in Justice League, shown a little bit more in the 4-hour cut.
They also showed some Smallville as well.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't watch all of Smallville. I watched a lot of Smallville, but I think I probably missed the portions.
It was later on.
I think I gave up later in the series, so I may have missed that. But
he's also in Doom Patrol also, though.
Yeah, they had a little bit of it.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. They had a little bit of it.
See, and I keep expecting for him to show up in the Teen Titans TV show. And I thought I saw like a poster with him included, and I was like, ooh. I was kind of excited for that. So
that would be really nice.
Yeah, I think so too. So he has so much. There's a tremendous upside to Cyborg's story, and and I would love to see, honestly, Ray Fisher play him again. Ray did a tremendous job in the movie, the Justice League movie, and there's no reason why he shouldn't get his own spin-off show or movie from that. I think he could do a wonderful job if after everything that happened, if he's interested in still playing the character. Of course, that's there's a lot of water under that bridge that has to be dealt with yet, unfortunately. And my last pick is M'Baku from the Black Panther. Now, so here's the thing. Growing up, I always thought the Black Panther was really cool. I never really paid much attention to his backstory. I just knew that his powers, what he could do, was very compatible with Captain America, and they worked together a lot. And honestly, one of my favorite things was Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the video game, how Black Panther and Captain America could mesh their powers together for attacks and all these different things. Now, one of the things in the first Black Panther movie that's not really identified very well is where M'Baku comes from. We just know that he's a part of a primitive tribe. We don't know what the white gorilla tribe is, where it comes from, why it got there, how he became this big hulking behemoth of a man, really, because M'Baku is also called the man ape because he's so large, and also because how he got his powers. From having killed one of the white gorillas, bathing in its blood, all these other different things. There's a really cool backstory there, and then that could be taken out, and shown how he got to the point where he could challenge, T'Challa for the crown. So there's a lot there that could be fleshed out and made into a mini series. Could be succinctly done, I think, in a movie, but I think there's enough there that there with enough tie into other Marvel characters and other parts of the Marvel universe where that could be a really cool show. And I think that could be a really neat way of going about it, in my opinion.
Yeah. I want to say, like, I love everything Black Panther. I think it's the most amazing thing they've ever made. I think they could do no wrong. Black Panther for life is perfect. It's beautiful. And I'm not just getting paid to say that. But I would say that I don't like how they brought like you said, M'Baku up. They could have made him more, like you said, more comic based. I think his story alone is so amazing to the whole story of Black Panther. Mm-hmm. It just makes Black Panther that much more cooler. Because
absolutely,
based in the movie, it just seemed like he was just kind of like a stuck up person that just said, "Hey, it's not fair." But they don't really. It would be better. They should have did a little bit. The character creation and the costume, everything.
Yeah, because in the first Black Panther movie, all you get is this is M'Baku. He wants to be the king, and he's unhappy because he's not.
Right.
You don't know why he's off in the mountains, scantily dressed in the middle of winter. I'm sorry, but my dude does not have enough clothes on for winter. I'm just saying, because I got cold watching him. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things there that could really be developed with an M'Baku storyline. And it's just like with the Cyborg storyline. There's so many things there where you can look at their background and where they've gone or where they've been, where they're going, and it helps in M'Baku's story in particular, like you said, it helps develop the Black Panther storyline, and I think that makes it so much better. Real quick here, John Wass says my two picks are Bombalurina because we need more Taylor Swift. Oh,
because he's still gonna try.
No, we're taking that one off the.
What was his other one though?
Broom
Boy from The Last Jedi, because he's got to have a great story going forward. Actually, I think he does. I think that would be a really cool thing to see because at the end of the movie he's pretty well inspired by the Resistance. So, and then Nathan says teenage Grogu. So, with like pimples and really mad at
every frog in sight.
Didn't we get that with Groot though? I mean, we might not.
Right?
Teenage Groot.
Set of twigs on you. So
watch your mouth. Oh,
that's right. That's right. All right, guys. We mentioned this once before, but just to be on the safe side, we're running out of time here. But Wize, again, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Stuck in My Mind podcast on all major platforms, Spotify, Apple, TuneIn, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Pandora. Anywhere you can find podcasts, I'm probably more than likely on it.
All right, cool beans. And Pyro, for you, where can people look to find your music and stuff?
Under Jarrell Pyro Johnson, like it says in this link right there, the name. And it could be on every music thing that Wize said besides the podcast things. So Spotify, Apple, iTunes, all the musics. And then, or you can just Google that. It's so simple. Just go ahead and Google my name.
Okay.
Everything is there.
Well, I know that I found you on Apple Music, so you're pretty easy to find.
Yeah. Or Napster. You can find me on Napster too.
As far as our show founder and Facebook page group founder, Alan Stockbridge, you'll be able to find him at the Motor City Comic Con Friday through Sunday, October 15th through 17th. He'll have a booth there. You'll be able to find his new book, Dances with Aliens, and of course, the book that started all of this for us, The Custodians of the Cosmos, where we talk about the Red Shirt Widows and Orphans Fund quite often because of that. All right. So where are we at in things here? Nick, it's up to you, buddy.
Oh, yeah. And as a reminder, last Friday we released our interview with Jeremy Roberts from Star Trek Voyager, as well as Deep Space Nine, and he was Lieutenant Commander Dimitri Valentine in Star Trek
or Valtane
in Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country.
Check this out.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Roberts, and welcome to Funny Science Fiction Podcast.
I still love not this guy.
Not this guy.
This guy.
Although, if George Takei wants to be on our show, yes, please.
Sign out. Let's do this.
Yes.
By the way, Jeremy has seen that preview. He thinks it's hysterical.
That's fantastic.
He thought it was
And
really good.
If we do get George Takei, I'm going to point to Jeremy.
Not this guy.
This guy. This
We
guy.
got this one this time.
And two, so I didn't realize it, but that picture of him sitting at the chair in front of the computers there is right before he gets blown up. Like he's like looking at the screen like, hi, I'm doing the stuff. And then, so anyway.
And you can still find that episode of Funny Science Fiction on our YouTube channel and your favorite audio podcast providers. And remember, your subscription to our YouTube channel is a major help, so please don't forget to click like, subscribe, as you see in the banner down below, and as you watch our videos.
Right. And this week, we have an interview coming up with Clayton Sandel.
You were part of a group that brought an amazing documentary. Documentary is called The Force of Sound.
Hey, this is Clayton Sandel, and welcome to the Funny Science Fiction Podcast.
Short and sweet, to the point. Clayton Sandel is a news journalist who might have one of the coolest jobs in broadcast news history. He's worked for ABC News. He works for a company called Newsy now. But he is the guy who's been known as the Star Wars guy at every job that he's had. So that's led him to some really cool exclusive interviews, movie premieres, things along those lines, but also exclusive visits to like Galaxy's Edge before it even opened. He got to go to Lucas Ranch, Lucasfilms,
He's got
ILM.
a pretty great Harrison Ford story.
Yes, he does. It's fantastic. You'll have to check that out this Friday. And the cool thing is, so he does this documentary, as I mentioned there in that little preview snippet. His documentary is called The Force of Sound. It's about 30 minutes long. Strongly recommend, if you're a Star Wars fan, check it out. It came out at the same time as The Last Jedi. But what it does is it show how they collected the different sounds. If you wonder how they make the sound of BB-8 rolling, you'll find out. You want to find out how they got the sounds of BB-8 collecting coins or shooting coins? They'll show you in the documentary. It's
and the fact
really
that porgs really are just space chickens.
Yeah, pretty much. Not even pretty much. They are. So it's really cool. Strongly encourage you guys to check out The Force of Sound. Watch that before Friday, and then Friday morning on YouTube, or listen to it on your favorite audio podcast destination. You'll be able to listen to our interview with Clayton. Really cool guy, super cool, down to earth, and just a big, huge Star Wars fan. And just one more quick reminder that this weekend, Drayton Allen will be at the Motor City Comic Con. promoting his new book, Dances with Aliens. Strongly suggest you guys go down. If you're going to be in the Detroit City area and you're going to go to the Motor City Comic Con, you'll not only be able to have lots of fun with all the guests they have there, but stop by, say hi to Drayton, and get some cool sci-fi nerd swag.
Awesome. Well, that is our show.
That's it. That's
You guys
all.
survived.
You guys made it through. We made it through all the fart jokes.
You have another hour worth of information to talk to your therapist about.
There you go. So Wize, Pyro, thank you guys so much for being on the show. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Awesome.
All right,
Good night,
guys.
everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Tune in next Monday. Goodbye. On behalf of the rest of the hosts of Funny Science Fiction, we'd like to thank you for listening to this episode. If you'd like to be a guest on one of our future episodes, please contact us by means of our Facebook group, Funny Science Fiction. You can find us on Twitter or Instagram using the handle @FunnySci-Fi, or you can go to DraytonAllen.com and click the Contact Me link at the bottom of the page. Thanks again. Hope you enjoyed the episode.